Hi, the first thing that I wanted to do was show you how to get to the edit site. This is the URL for the edit site right here. It's sphere-us.com/up/up-admin. And this is your login information. Your username is sales@sphere-us.com and your password is capital F 3A %, uppercase U, uppercase S, question mark, and two lowercase x's. So we're going to open up a browser. I'm going to click up here in the finding area, and I'm going to place that URL here, which is sphere-us.com/wp/wp-admin and hit enter. This opens up a login screen here for WordPress, and your username is sales@sphere-us.com. Your password is capital F, the number 3, the letter lowercase a, %, capital U, capital S, question mark, and two lowercase x's. If you're going to be on a computer that you use all the time, I recommend that you hit remember me, even though you should have this document somewhere so you don't forget. And we'll hit login. This brings us to the dashboard. You can actually, if you're on Google, you can save this, whatever you like. But you see here, this is you. You can edit this area if you'd like, and it shows that you're logged in, because you would log out, you would click here. Okay, and these are all the users. I'm gonna show you around the whole thing. This is Jessica, this is you, this is me, and I'm actually gonna delete this one. So there's 3, and you can see that we're all administrators, which means that we can edit this site. Okay. So the way in which I'm going to teach you is I'm going to show you from left to right what this is. I've already shown you your profile information here. If you wanted to, you'd go here. See how it brings you to this user area. This is actually this is a navigation pane here. This is all of this right here. These are all pages and navigation inside the site here. You don't have to mess with this at all if you don't want to, unless you want to change your password or something like that, but I highly recommend that you don't mess with it at this time. If you want to look to see what the site looks like, you would go here. This is always available when you're in editing. And when we go to the dash, you just click here. This is what the site looks like right now on my large screen. And it shows that if I wanted to, I could actually edit this page right here using this visual composer, which I'm going to show you how to use. So go back to the dashboard. And you don't have to be concerned with any of these things at this time. But when you do start to manage the site, you'll want to look to see if you do any posting here, or if anyone's done any kind of commenting. You can see the activity that's gone on. So we can just close these off for now, so it doesn't bother you. If you had a quick blog post that you wanted to create, this would be happening right here, but I don't recommend this at this time. And this just shows you a little bit about what's happening on this site here. This is the WordPress website. So there you have it. you can close. This is a screen option. This shows you, this is for the dash. If you don't want to see this, see how that's changing? Maybe we'll keep it like this for now. So it welcomes you here and it shows you how you can edit your front page and manage so forth. These are really just links to information. But if you wanted to go right here and add a blog post or visit your site, add an additional page, this foregoes using the left hand side here and gets you right to the place that you want to be. We can, like I said to you, you can truly just dismiss this and not see this. I'm going to just show you what happens if we go here. This takes us right to the home page and shows us how we could edit this. Okay, so in this area here, we actually see some code, and I really don't want you to be bothered with that right now. So this is the Visual Composer that's loading right here. It does take a minute to load, but once it loads, this is where you should be able to utilize, you should be able to make adjustments. I don't want you to do that at all. Get back here. To make the adjustments to your page. So this is a better view. If you look at the Visual Composer, you can actually read this and you can see how you can roll over this area here to make changes. This means changing the column. This is editing or throwing this content away. Okay, so we don't want you to do that. But say you wanted to make changes to this box here. This provides you with a text block setting area, which is the same content here, now is opened up here, and this is an editor. Okay. If you found that you had two of these, say you put 2 commas there, and you realized that, put that there. Do you see right here that there's 2 commas here now? And we want to edit that. I'm just going to go back over here, delete that, and then save those changes, and you can see that it's been changed. What I want to do is go through here again. We're just going to leave. We're going to leave here. We didn't do anything, so we can just leave. It's going to stay the same as it was. Okay. So I think my recommendation is when you're on the dash is to to make this simple as possible. You can actually honestly have all this available to you, and you can look around and see what all these things do. But truly, my recommendation is not necessarily to utilize the dashboard at this time, but go through in this area here, pages, media, posts. Those are areas that you should definitely learn about. You need to be able to manage the pages, add some media, add some posts, These other things are, this is more in depth. You can look at these things and kind of investigate those. There's nothing wrong with that at all. All these tools are in place. Like, it's not going to hurt for you to look through this and see, well, what are the themes? This is the theme that we're using. This is the theme that you used to use. We're using this now because it needed to be updated. But you can actually look here, and it's not going to hurt for you to click on this and see what's going on here. You can open this up and you can look at the menu. You don't, but it's just, it's not necessary. There's a lot of unnecessary parts here that you don't need to be concerned with. This is the Visual Composer, and this is what the thing that you're going to be learning to do. So you're going to be learning how to do posts, work with media, pages, and this Visual Composer. So we're going to go back to the dash, leave it as it is. So let's look at the posts first. Like, let's just go ahead and look at that. And you can see that Jessica has put, you can take, here's the post right here. You could edit this post. You can make a quick edit to the post. You can make a new draft, which is just truly an example of the post that you would, maybe you want to consider making some changes or additions, and you're just not certain about it, so you don't want to mess with the original post, this one, but you'd make a draft of it. So you'd have almost like a duplication or a clone of it. So what we're going to do is, we'll look at this in a moment, but I want you to see here's a draft right here. Okay, so let's look at this. This is a draft. This is her name. This is who authored it. It's uncategorized, and I'm going to go ahead and make some changes to this. Okay. So I'm not going to use this, but what I'm going to do is make an example here. So I'm going to say, I'm going to change the title of this, and I'm going to change it to large equipment. And now I'm going to go ahead and put just 2 sentences. We are in the business of maintaining, I'm really not always good at spelling, large equipment for self-employed individuals. Our skilled staff can give you the advice you are looking for. Answers that provide you with solutions to pricing, budgets, tools, parts, and services. There you go. Not that this makes any sense. All right, but here we go. So if I want to put a little bit of information with this, I can come over to, I can say this is a draft. I can preview this. I can make sure that this is visually only seen by me. Okay. I can have it password protected. That's kind of silly. I can put this at the front of the page. Don't even worry about this right now. I can publish this immediately, or I can actually set the date to publish it, which is very awesome. So say you wanted to have a new post to update a new service that you and your team are providing, or even to announce that you've been hired. You might want to show the draft to Brian and Kristen, and you might want to say, you know, I'm going to auto-publish this, meaning I'm going to have this publish on, you know, October 10th, because I want to get their okay. So right now it's a draft, and it's really truly going to just be seen by select few. Okay. So we just made a customized publish segment here. Now the next thing that we might want to do is we might want to put it in a category, because and this is pretty advanced thinking, but if you categorize your posts, it will assist you with your, when other people who are looking for your services, they're going to type in something like, you know, large equipment service, right? So if we put, or women-owned businesses, so if we select one of these or two of these, these categories will help in the search. And we might even say we are a woman-owned business operating a woman-owned business operating a product and services specializes in the maintenance of large, something like that. Okay. So here we've got those categories. You can even add another one. Okay. And now these tags, this has to do with also the search engine optimization. So the browser or the web, the internet here is a series of, you can consider it like a bunch of pages, a series of pages that are available to other people who are putting inside the search, which is like a directory. They're putting inside the search, they're saying, hey, I'm looking for woman-owned businesses that maintain large equipment. So the words that we put in the tags are the things that the search is looking for. So those pages will come up. So maybe this company will come up, or at least it'll be in one of the top companies that'll show up. So you can look down here. Let's see, heavy equipment. and see what this is here. Authorized. You can kind of pick through some of these right here if you'd like. Just add them. So let's say heavy equipment, comma, irrigation pumps. See how that starts to come up? It just starts to come up. Sealant or construction. How about construction? There you go. All right, so we'll just leave those and we'll add those for now. Okay, so those are tags. Like it says, you have to separate it with commas, and this is added to this page here. You could add an image to this too. I would be careful about that. Let's do it though, because this is just an example. So, kind of jumping along here. And this is an area where if you wanted to, you could upload a file right away if you understood this. But what I would do is look in the media library and let's see what's going on here. Here are all the images that are already on this, or at least available. Do you see we have some darker and lighter? Here's Kristen as a darker person. I'm sure that okay, so say we wanted to go ahead and put this right here. It tells you, we're not going to put any filter. Oh, let's not do that. Okay, so this is the image here that I've selected. It tells you what the size of the image is. These are in pixels, not inches. Pixels are, I believe that there are about, I would say 125 pixels to an inch. Something like that. I can tell you that. All this is going to be documented, so you'll be getting that. So you can edit this image. You can see that this image is here. You can look at the URL and see where it's going to be. There it is, the your image. It tells you. Okay. You could put a caption there. I wouldn't do that for this website. Or you could permanently delete it. I wouldn't do that either. You could edit this. So say we edited it. Okay, so here it is. So say we wanted it to be even smaller, okay? Say I wanted it to be like 75 pixels, and it auto scales, so it's going to reduce the size. So these images are probably already being used on the site, and they're probably already sized, and so that's a very good lesson about if you're going to use any of these images here, you should be very careful about sizing them, because if this already is out there and used somewhere, like it tells you, doesn't really tell you where it is being used, but we can look at that later. So I wouldn't mess with this right now. Okay. All this other stuff here, there's a lot of information here. You can spend hours and hours taking time to learn about this, to prepare the way in which this is laid out, and whether you input a video, putting headers in there, which are like banners at the top of pages, subheaders, that would be a sub banner inside of a page. So the banner would be the top, the next one would be the subheading. Colors, all sorts of parallax means that it's moves, the page moves. Well, it looks like the page, this is very detailed information. Your area of interest should be the posted area. If we want to look at the back end, because I did not save anything, it did not change anything. So it still says the auto draft. So if we go back, close this, to the dashboard, None of that was saved because I never ever hit the publish button. Okay, so I don't want to publish this. Okay, this is truly, truly a draft. It's a practice area. So if you do want to practice, you can use this area here, but like I said to you before, you're going to make sure that it's a draft. You're going to make sure that it's really not public. You don't want anything to be public. You're going to, we can browse and see if it saved that other version. Yeah. So if we wanted to look at this, what I just did, and it says it was you, because that's who I'm signed in as. Let's look at that. There it is. It's a beautiful thing about WordPress. One of the beautiful things is that it does save versions of edits, as you see here. Okay, so let's take a look. See, this is where we look to see that. All right, this is the original auto draft, and then it's the second version here. And it's still in a draft. We want to make sure that this is private. We want to, actually, hold on one second, let's see. I do not want this to be published. Do you see right here, this is just published to a new draft. Okay. Now it's in draft mode again. So I'm going to save this as a draft. But I lost, see, one of the things that happened, I said, okay, this is great. I was able to recover this. It's still in a draft. But down here, I lost all the work that I had done over here because I didn't hit save, and I didn't hit preview, and I didn't hit publish. Okay, and you're going to learn that. So let's go back and add those tags. You can open this up and just use this as an example. Certification, large equipment. I'm pausing because I'm thinking it's gonna come up, but it's not. Okay, construction. There's owned business, irrigation. All right. So there it is again. So now if I save this draft, we can go to the posts. Okay, so here's Jessica's, but do you see that her auto, I'm actually going to change this back to have it say auto draft because it had said that. I'm just changing it back for her. And I'm going to take all this out. And this is what she had selected before. And that's as far as she had gotten. It said auto draft. And there were no tags here. And I'm just going to save that. So if she was working on that, because if you're doing this with someone else, now you can say, here's my draft, and here's her draft. Okay, like I said, it's under your name. But you can see that it's categorized and that those tags showed up. And it tells you the day that it was modified. Okay, you can see that these posts are older. Okay. And then you can see the number of posts, which ones were yours, how many were published, and how many are drafts up here. If you want, you could, you know, edit a bunch, apply that, if you wanted to edit, if you selected all of them and you're going to edit them all that day, look, watch. They're all ready to be edited. You could apply to every single one of them, but we're not going to do that. You could do it by the date. So you could do it by category. So these are filters. Okay. So if you wanted to apply an action to that, so let's just do that. We're going to edit the September ones, which have women in business, and we're going to apply a filter. That's the one, because it has women-owned business here. So that would be the one. Okay, why would you do that? Well, maybe someone said to you, hey, you know what? We've got an email from a client who was talking about women-owned businesses, and they wanted to ask us to add some comments about what it's like to service large equipment in the southern state of Florida, something. And you've already got this post started, okay? But now, by then, it's December, and you've got 15 or 20 posts in this list here. There's just going on and on, and you can actually say, hey, you know what? In December, I know I wrote something in September, and it actually, this is probably the one there, because, like I said to you just before, this is just a draft now, but you could get started and utilize this. So I guess that's why you could possibly use this. It's really truly when when this starts to be heavily populated, this is when you use the filters to find things. So I'm going to leave this here just, and we could trash this. We could preview it. Doesn't look very pretty. Okay. So it's just a draft. All right, these are live published. If you look at these, see, there's a little bit of information here. There's an image that was put on. Here's the information. It tells you who actually wrote this. If you wanted to edit this, okay, and you can see this is a live post that already has media in here. This has been embedded by adding media, okay, and it is centered. That's what this alignment is. This would bring it to the left. It justifies it. That's what it's called. That brings it back to the way it was, okay. You could actually delete it or remove it, which we're not going to. You could go ahead and select any of this right here and edit it. You can see that it's been published, and this is the date that it was published. It is a standard image, which is fine. You could add a category like I told you before if you wanted to, and these are the tags that she added to this. Honestly, like I said to you before, you're not even looking down below this. This is sort of like this area here. It's about where you, at this point, you don't need to go farther than that. You really need to focus on this upper part here. Okay. So if you wanted to look at this, there's nothing wrong with you looking here. It's useful if you have this search engine plugin, which I believe is not activated inside this site at this time. But we can talk about that at another time. Okay, and this is a paralink, which is, or a permalink, which it tells you the date that it was published right here on the 25th of March. She wrote this in April, but it was published in March. She must have edited it. Oh, she did. So it was published on this date and last edited on the 8th. And so that's why it says it was published on that day. It was on the 25th of March, but it was still, she edited it another time. So that just shows you the history of this. I think that's good for now. We did not update this. We don't have to do anything to it. We didn't make any changes to it. So what's going to happen is it'll probably say, well, do you want to save the changes? Do you want to leave this page? Yeah, I want to leave this page because I didn't do anything. Okay. But like I showed you earlier, when I was creating this draft, when I left without saving it, it auto-saved, but you don't want to have to go digging for things like that. Okay, so be conscious of that. If you are making any kind of changes, because there's a typo, okay, so you went to this right here, I showed you that with a comma, and you wanted to make a quick edit. Okay, so if I wanted to make this post sticky, which means that it would be at the front of the page, it would always be at the, if I made this sticky, it would always be seen at the top, which I guess I could do that, and we can then cancel it. Okay, so I'm going to update. I'm just doing this to show you. Now we see that it's sticky. So if we take a look, it's always going to be at this top of the page here. It'll always show up all the time because it's sticky. So if we wanted to edit that, we don't want it to be sticky. We're going to undo that. You can see that it's not sticky anymore. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that you understand is I'm going to go through this with you live. I just want to be able to provide you with an overview. It's a brand new area where you would add a post. You would add a title to the post. Most of the times the title would be whatever this thing is about, the main thing that this is about. A piece of equipment, a new product that you're selling. It's the title of that thing. Okay, so you would put that in this as the title. That's very important. And then you would go ahead and you could add your media here if you'd like, and maybe you would have to we'll do another one where it's a brand new post. The product is some kind of equipment, some kind of oil. Petro oil. Say that's the name of a product. This is a draft. It is still in edit mode. No one's going to see this. And now I'm going to add some images to it, but I'm going to upload an image. So as far as uploading images go, one of the things that I don't know is whether you know how to do any kind of image editing. We have image editing software, so all these images were actually enhanced. Like when we get a picture of you, or if you get a picture of yourself and put it in here, I would highly recommend that you ask us to do that. But if you're going to do it yourself, what I would do is say I'm going to upload an image. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is actually want to know what the size of this one is, because I want mine to be the same size as this. So this is 528 by 720. This one is also 528 by 720. What is this one? Yeah, well, 529 by 720. Oh, this one's huge, and I think it was maybe deleted, maybe not, but it was probably sized. So these are all probably a similar size. So I would go with that in mind. I would try to keep these a similar size. Like I showed you before, you can edit the size of these images. All right. But if you're going to upload a new image, let's upload something. I really don't have too many images here that are, let's just use this. This is just a piece of fabric. Okay, so I'm selecting this file and I'm going to add it. It's from my desktop. I'm going to add it in there. There it is. You can see that this, if I wanted to, now I'm still on that same page, by the way, in that same new post. So if I wanted to insert that into the post, I have this selected. I can unselect it. Now nothing's selected. But this is the one that I want to insert. You can see what the size is and say, that's too big. I'm going to actually reduce that. So it's a square. And now it's this is the thumbnail size. Okay. And I am going to go back. So here I've reduced the size. I'm not going to have a title there. I'm not going to align it at this time. Shows you the full size, and I'm going to insert that in the post. There it is. That's centering it. Left aligned, right aligned. So the difference between this and this one is that if I put text, so say I'm going to say, I know this has nothing to do with, I'm just going to call it petrol-oil has an improved emulsifier. Emulsifier. Right clicking, that's how you spell it. Do you see how I just did that? So I just went over this. You can right click on, look at it, look it up, or you can, like, this one is underlined. They didn't like that petro at all. That's too bad. Okay, it has an improved emulsifier that seals the gasket. Yeah, I don't know anything about stuff like this. Gas. That seals the all hoses up to, I don't know, making it up. Okay, so say I've got this here and I want this. So it just brought that text. I'm going to think of some other things because it actually will wrap around this image if I wanted it to. It could wrap around it, but I'm just telling you. Okay. So we're going to move this right to the trash. Okay. Move this to the trash. Are you sure? Yes. I am positive. Okay. So it isn't even there. Categories. So these are the categories that have already been set up by Jessica. I would say that you, since you know the business, you might find that there's other categories that will help for, like I said, these are all pages, just like every website. It's just a page, like a page in a book, or the first page of a book. I look at it like that, or the title page of every book. So what is the title page of the book? Well, the title page of the book is that you guys sell large equipment and you do repair work. Or you don't sell it, you do repair work and you sell products that support the, using large equipment. That's why she's got products and services. This is a women-owned business. You're certified. But what other categories would you add here? So that might be something that you and I talk about when we have our meeting. Okay, the other thing that we might talk about is tags that we would add here, because this is that list that comes up. See, doesn't that look familiar? These are all the words that came up through when we were doing those posts, so we can add other ones. Okay, so we'll talk about that as well. This is directly to the media. So if you ever really like, what is it that we have here? This is a mess. Or or like, she doesn't work here anymore. If she doesn't work here anymore, maybe you want to get rid of her. You want to edit this image. I don't know whether she does or not. I'm just saying. So see, there's that same size. That's where we got those sizes from. Okay. Like if these people don't work there, I have a feeling these people don't work there. I think this might have come with the theme. Close-up, middle-aged Asian man. You can always delete, right? Edit, or put this attachment on a page. You can scroll through these. Do you see that? And in doing that, you can kind of clean up this library a lot faster. Yeah, she probably edited all these. So, okay. So, we'll go through that. Talk about how to add a new one. Look at the pages. This is your front page. This is a draft. I did this the other day because I was working on, I don't think this part wasn't working. Let me see if it was working today. Okay. So do you see all this right here? This is what this visual composer does. So if I want to actually come in here and edit, this is an area that I can actually add something to right here. So say I wanted to add, actually let me edit this right here. Here I am here, I'm going to edit this. I just clicked on this area. Did you see that? And I'm going to say, welcome to Fear, where we get it done. I don't know. Right? Right? Like you know that this is a draft, so this isn't going to really show up. It's a copy of the home page. Okay? This part here, the custom CSS, those are style sheets. That's something that you don't need to worry about at this time. Okay. That was saved. You can close that part. So that obviously links to the home page where it just says home. So if we want to go back, this is the draft page here. Did you see that? It opened another page. This is your home page. This is actually the Visual Composers. Let me get rid of that. Okay. So when I meet with you, I'm actually going to, you can see this is, the reason that these are here is because it's preset. And you can see that it says empty space. It is an empty space, but say we wanted to edit this right here. Okay, we would be doing that here. Say we wanted to put a color. We're not going to do this. Do you see that? Now it has a sorry, that's my fault. It actually has a border on it. I'm going to edit that. A radius of 5. Background color. Okay. So that's what we just did just now. I'll just leave that. So we'll edit a page so you get a feeling for how to do this. We'll use this draft page. Do you see that you're still exactly how it was before? All right, but if we log back in, go back to Fear. All right, I don't know whether. Here we are again to the dash. Okay, but this is the actual site. Do you see the difference? There's not that. That's what I was trying to show you. This right here, this panel here. Howdy. None of that's here because this is the live site right here. This is the actual website. This is the back end where we're editing. Okay. So here are all the pages. You can view each one of these. We'll go through that. We'll look through each one of these and see where you might want to update. If you have, like, if your picture is, I'm imagining that we're going to put your picture in here. So do you see there's a lot of information here? So if we wanted to edit this, this is where you're, yeah, I think this is where it is. Yeah. Here are the people. Here's the information on each one of the people that work here. So this is gonna be you. I think we're gonna actually change this for you. Yep. So we take this out and we put some information about you here. Okay. because it says office manager. I think that's going to be your job. Or I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we can preview that. There it is. See, you're still inside of the back end. Okay. And see how all the pictures are the same size. And because when we look at this, we can actually get rid of her picture if this is the case that you're replacing her. And we can kind of clean up the media center if need be. So it keeps it clean for you. All right, so it's your dashboard. One other thing that we will look at, so we've looked at posts, the media, pages. Not many people are making comments. I wouldn't worry about that. That might even be turned off. I don't know that we have any testimonials. It might be something that you and I talk about. You might want to add to that. That's a good thing to have on a website for getting people to come to your site. The appearance. Okay, so I showed you the themes, but what I wanted to show you was the menu. Okay. I don't want to do it like that. I'm sorry. I was just checking to see if I wanted to do that. No. All right, so the menu's inside of appearance. Widgets, that's where you don't need to even know about this, but I can show you everything if you'd like. Okay. So that's what I was trying to show you before. Excuse me, when you're in the back end here, if you just want to go ahead and visit the site to see what it really looks like when you've done your edits, it should be underneath this here. It should always show up. See? So you can just see what's been changed. Say you want to change some of the sizes of these things here. You know, we can talk about all that. What we'll do is we'll go through the dashboard. We will test out and we'll make a post. You will check out the media. You'll check out the pages. The next thing we'll do is go and look at all the pages and see if there's anything that you are going to want to change, or anything that Brian or Kristen is going to want to change. We'll go through it like that. So for now, I'm just going to log out. And I'm going to end this video. I will meet with you next week.